Chapter 1. Computer Networks. In this chapter, you will learn about what are networks, advantages of networking, components of networks, types of networks, network security. The different types of networks that you come across in your daily life are given below. Network of roads, canals, highways, railway lines and sewers, etc. The most common example of a network is the telephone system, using which you can talk to anyone, anywhere and anytime. The entire network of banks and ATMs. Programs are broadcast across different countries using radio and television networks. People at different locations can discuss important issues by using video conferencing networks. There is a network of schools, hospitals and malls across the country. Internet is also called the network of networks. You cannot even imagine your life without networking, that is, no telephones, no phones and no internet. It is practically impossible. By using a computer network, we can share data and information between two or more computers. When computers are connected through a network, they can communicate with each other and also work independently. Computers that are connected through a network can share their resources like printers, modems, CD drives, etc. We can connect the devices either by cables or through the internet depending on the distance between the devices. Do you know? The wireless means of communication use low-powered radio waves to transmit data between devices. Compare. A single computer that is connected to a printer or a modem, but there is no communication between different computers. We cannot call this a computer network. Two computers that share data with each other can be considered an example of a simple network. Benefits of networking. By having networking among different computers in an organization, we can increase efficiency, economy, and effectiveness. Redundancy. After having a network, there is lesser need for hard copies of documents. Instead of sharing files and reports on paper, we can share the files on the internet and the need of paper can be eliminated or reduced. Efficiency. It is very easy to modify, upgrade or delete files over a network because the changes have to be made only at one place. By doing so, the efficiency and effectiveness of the system is increased. Quick document delivery. By using the internet, we can deliver soft copies of different documents within a fraction of a second. Storing information. As the number of computers increases, it becomes more difficult to keep regular backups. If the backup is kept only at a central position, then it becomes easier to access lost data. Hardware cost. By having a network, the devices that are used less can be shared among different computers. These devices include printers, scanners, modems, CD writers, etc. By doing so, we will have lesser hardware cost. Proper use of storage media. We can store data on a single computer and connect the other computers with it rather than storing the same information again on every computer. It is better to have a big hard disk on a server as compared to having small hard drives in different computers. Components of a network. For establishing a network connection between different computers, we need to have the following components. Network card. For connecting a computer physically to a network, we use the network card. By doing so, the computer can take part in network communication. The most commonly used network card is the Ethernet network card. Most of the computers nowadays have a motherboard on which the network card is inbuilt. Networking cable. Twisted pair cables that have 8 wires are used in the modern Ethernet networks. The twisted pair cable is arranged in a special order and they have an RJ45 connector that is bigger than the connector that we use at both ends of a telephone wire. Hubs and switches. For sending and receiving data that is transmitted over Ethernet cables, we use network cards. If the number of computers in a network becomes more than 2, then we cannot connect all the computers with every other computer directly. For connecting all the computers, we require an interface through which the transfer of the data will take place. For performing this function, we use hubs and switches. Earlier hubs were preferred over switches, but nowadays switches are used more commonly because they provide better efficiency. The functions performed by a hub or a switch are given below. A hub acts as the central point of a connection. Every computer on the network is connected to a hub or a switch. It is also used to arrange the ports so that the transmitted data can be sent to the computers through network cards. A hub or a switch is a device that consists of many RJ45 ports. Computers on a network are connected to the hub or switch through the use of Ethernet cables. Components required for wireless networking. Wireless network cards. In wireless networking, we use wireless network cards instead of the normal network cards that are used in wired networks. The laptop computers that are available now have a built-in wireless network card on their motherboard. Access points or routers. In wireless networking, we make use of the routers instead of hubs and switches. The routers have a wireless antenna that boosts the communication range of the radio signals. A network can also be a combination of wired as well as wireless networks by using access points that can be used to join wired networks. Different types of networks. By now we have learnt that a computer understands only machine language, that is, in the form of zeros and ones. We can call this machine language the binary language also. It is not new to us that a computer is an electronic machine. Thus, it understands only two states, the on state, which is denoted by 1, and the off state, which we denote by 0. Local area network LAN, two or more computers and peripherals that are connected to each other in a relatively smaller area like a room, office or a campus form a LAN. The number of computers present in a LAN varies from 2 to 1000. The data is transferred at a slow speed as compared to WAN. Metropolitan Area Network MAN. These are larger than the LAN networks and are spread across the city. These networks cover an entire city and are therefore called metropolitan. The most common example of this type of network is cable television. Wide Area Network WAN. For connecting two or more computers that are located very far away from each other, we use WAN. These computers are connected through satellites and telecommunication signals. WAN is restricted to government agencies or very large organizations. Some common examples of WAN are Internet and Intranet, ATM facility, banking customer services. LAN versus WAN. LAN. The LAN network is limited to a smaller area. WAN. WAN covers a larger distance and operates across nations. LAN. Computers are connected using wires. WAN. Computers are not connected through wires. LAN. Data transfer speed is slow. WAN. Data transmission speed is fast. LAN. Data transmission errors occur in small numbers. WAN. Large number of errors occur. Network security. Data security is the most important aspect in computer networks. Proper data security should be assured as the same set of data is accessed by many users at the same time. The data on the network can only be accessed and modified by authorized persons. Some of the threats to data on the network are: employees may change data related to their leave records, salaries, and performance appraisal. Sometimes data can also be deleted accidentally. The data of the company can be harmed by the former employees and some other people. The data can also be accessed by people outside the company. Network security is related to protecting data and resources from unauthorized people. The two levels of security are: login security is attained by giving each user a username and a password. Write security users are given read-only rights or read-write access based on their usernames. We can also grant a combination of rights to the users. Summary. In wireless networking, we use wireless network cards instead of the normal network cards that are used in the wired networks. A hub acts as a central point of connection. Every computer on the network is connected to a hub or a switch. There are three different types of networks: LAN, MAN, and WAN. The wireless means of communication use low-powered radio waves to transmit data between devices. By having networking among different computers in an organization, we can increase efficiency, economy, and effectiveness.